What's going on, y'all? Austin's Lens back with another video. Be sure to like the video. Make sure you comment what you think about this thing. Make sure you share, make sure you subscribe, and follow me right here on this Instagram that you see right there. That's my personal Instagram that I've been posting on. Now, let's get into it. What are we here to talk about today? Today, we're here to talk about what 31 days of discipline taught me. Now, as some of you may know, if you've been following my journey for the last 31 days, on YouTube, TikTok, Instagram, any of the three platforms, you know that I have been hitting the gym consistently every single day for the month of January. And I documented the entire process. I showed y'all all the exercises that I did, and I showed it to you in different angles. I kind of told a story with everything that I did every single day. Now, why did I do this? Number one, the reason I did it is because I wanted to begin the year doing something that would help sharpen and refine my mental discipline. Why? Because I feel like in 2023 and in the years previously, it had become way too easy for me to not do something because I just didn't feel like doing it, even if I knew that it would benefit me. And it became easy for me to do things that I knew were not beneficial. So I wanted to start off 2024 doing something different, and I wanted to document that process so I can show it to you guys. I didn't want to just do it in secret or do it in the comfort of my home, without anybody knowing about it, just so I can come back and tell you about it. I feel like it would just hit that much harder if y'all had literally witnessed me through the whole thing. Y'all were here for the entire journey, most of you, and you saw what I did. Now, the first thing I learned is that it literally all boils down to a decision. Too often we get caught up in, okay, I don't feel like it, or it's hard, or I'm tired, or, it's always some reason why we can't do the thing. But what I'm realizing, because let me tell you this, last year, all 2023, I told myself I was going to go to the gym every other day, and that was my routine. Now, if I went on Monday, that means I skipped Tuesday, and I went on Wednesday. But what's crazy is that even with the day off in between every other day, Tuesday would speed by, and Wednesday would be here. And I'm like, oh, it's Wednesday already? You got me checking the calendar like, Are you sure it's time to go back? And what I realized is that it's all up here. It's all up here. No matter, it's getting hot now. No matter what you do, if you don't want to do something, your mind would essentially trick you out of making the decision that you know that you wanted to make, or that you told yourself you wanted to make. The things that we desire, they come out. You can't outrun your desire. You have to fight it. If deep down you don't want to do it, it doesn't matter if you had a whole week off. That week is going to speed past, and it's going to be day 8. And it's going to be time to go back, and you're going to be like, there's no amount of rest that you can get that's going to prepare you to feel motivated to go. It's not about motivation. It's about saying you're going to do something and literally doing it. It's that simple. We look at all these successful people in the world, all the people who have the best health, the best finances, or the best relationships, or the best family life, whatever. Literally, it does not matter. It boils down to a decision. You can't trick the system. There's no way around it. You have to decide. It's that simple. And that brings me directly into my next point. Number 2, motivation is essentially not real. And I say that as someone who's literally trying to motivate you. But hear me when I say this. There's no amount of motivation in the world. Let me stay close to the mic. There's no amount of motivation in the world that will be enough for you to pursue what you told yourself that you wanted to do. You can listen to a motivational speech every day. Somebody telling you, come on, that's not what it takes. But if you think about it, if you break down what happens when you listen to motivation, you listen to that motivation, and then what do? You decide to get up and go do the thing. So it doesn't matter if you get motivated or if you don't. Either way, you have to make a decision. So it does boil down to a decision. Motivation is not only is it not real, it's like don't put all your eggs in the motivation basket. At some point or another, you will have to face the fact that you lack discipline, and you'll have to find a way to gain that so that you can be successful. Because without discipline, you literally can accomplish nothing in this life. The third thing I learned is mental health is directly tied to our physical health. People talk about mental health, physical health, emotional health, spiritual health. They talk about all these things as if they're all separate. But when you work on one thing, if you truly are working on that thing, it will push you to want to improve the other areas of your life. Because if you think, like, I'm going to the gym every day, 31 days. Not only was I in the gym every day, improving my body, but it pushes me to want to improve the way I think, the way I see the world. It's almost, I would say it's very hard for you to have incredible physical health and not have the mental health improve along with it if you're not avoiding the work. When you look at yourself in the mirror and you see that your body's improving, if you know that the areas of your life that are internal, intrinsic, if you know that you're not addressing those things, if you're honest with yourself, you will begin to feel fraudulent because you know that it's almost like you're taking care of the outside but neglecting the inside. It's like it's like that body that you created is a mask. When you're trying to be the best you can be in that gym, it forces you to face those demons. It forces you to face the things inside of you that are broken, that need to be healed. And it's directly tied to one another. And when you take care of your physical temple on the outside, it helps you to take care of your temple from the inside out as well. When you take care of your mind, you want to take care of your body. When you take care of your body, you want to take care of your mind, your spiritual self, all of those things. The next thing I want to talk about is how you start is how you finish. That is the entire reason why I started this in January. Because I told myself, if I start this year off doing all of the things, staying sharp, not just doing what people say the New Year's resolution, and then they do it for 6 days, don't even make it a week, and then they fall off and then live the rest of the year doing what they was doing last year. That's not what we're talking about. I'm talking about if I can stick to, because I think they say if you do something for 21 days in a row, it becomes a habit. And I'm not gonna lie to you, me going to the gym every day, it kind of made me, at some point in the last week, it made me think, I want to keep doing this. Not only did I want to start the year off doing this, taking care of my body, fueling it with the right things, because I've been eating well too. I've been hydrated, all of those things. I've been drinking my smoothies, eating my fruit, getting my vegetable protein intake, all of that, minimizing my carbs. That's a whole different video. But I don't really want to stop. There are times, yes, when I'm like, I don't feel like going to the gym. You think the whole 31 days I wanted to go to the gym every day? No, I wasn't in love with the idea of going to the gym every single day. That's not realistic. But that's the reason why motivation is not the key. Motivation is not what's going to save you. What's going to save you is doing the real internal work and developing your mental discipline so that no matter how you feel, you get the job done. Because whether we feel good, whether we feel bad, things need to be done regardless. Things must be done. And there's no way around it. That's something that I've had to face. And I face it every day. It's not something that you learn once and then you're all good. No, you have to learn that every day. You have to constantly renew your mind with the proper information, because that is not a pleasant truth. It doesn't feel good to have to face the reality of the fact that if I feel terrible, I still have to go out and do X, Y, Z. That doesn't feel good to think about, but that's real life. Real life isn't about doing only what we feel like doing. And for a long time, I was living like that was what real life was, and it's not. It's just not. So how you start is how you finish. I wanted to start the first 31 days of this month. I did a lot of things that helped develop my discipline and set me on the right track. Now, what reason do I have to have been able to do it for a whole month and then suddenly, as soon as the month is over, stop? No, because it boils down to a decision. Like I said in my last video, we know the things that we need to do. We just choose not to do them because we don't want to. The next thing I learned is that the hardest part actually is starting. The hardest part is not maintaining the schedule. Like, if you think about it, day one, because that's the day that you have to finally choose to roll out that bed, get dressed, and make your way. and do whatever it is that you've been avoiding. That's the hardest part, because if you think it's hard to do it when you're on day 30 out of 31, at that point you're already about to be finished. There's no way you're gonna allow yourself to make it 30 days and then on day 31 you're like, oh, I just can't. No, because not only is everybody else gonna be looking at you like you couldn't do one more day, this is day 31, but when you look yourself in that mirror, you're gonna be like, who is this guy? How weak was I that I couldn't even pull it out of myself to get one more day in? That's not, if you can't complete it on day 31, I don't even know how you made it that far. Starting is the hardest part, making that initial decision, because that's the time where you have to break from your comfort zone into discomfort zone. But when you've been in that discomfort, you eventually get comfortable in that discomfort. There's no way I could allow myself to make it a whole 30 days and then suddenly, and I break down and I can't do one more. What would everybody that I've been trying to tell, everybody that I've been trying to preach this lesson to, what would they think if they saw me crumble on the last day and then I wouldn't even be able to look myself in the eye? That's the video for today, man. This is part 1 of 2. I want to give y'all essentially 10 things that I learned. That's the first 5. Stay tuned for part 2. The last 5 things that I learned from 31 days of discipline. I feel like this challenge was an incredible way to start off the year. I'm so glad I did it. I can't wait to dive into the rest of the lessons I learned so I can show y'all all the ways that I benefited from doing this thing. Again, make sure y'all like the video, comment on the video what you think, comment what your favorite lesson was. Comment if you saw me making these videos every single day and you followed along on the journey. Make sure you share this video with somebody, subscribe to the channel, click the bell, and I'm going to catch you on the next one.